Hello humans and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. What are we talking about today? Nintendo and their success. And what kind of success I'm talking about? I'm talking about these guys being up 13.9% in the June quarter, the quarter that ended June. 3.91 million Switches sold, almost 4 million. This is unheard of 6.5 years into a console's life, right? But let's analyze how they did so well. Not only that, how can we apply it to ourselves, right? These are tough economic times. They are. And a lot of companies are struggling. How is it that Nintendo is having this kind of success, right? We know that in tough economic times, people spend more money on digital entertainment just because they're staying home, they're not traveling, things like that. But not everybody's having Nintendo success. Why is that? Let's break it down for you, right? And let me tell you, you have to be diversified as a company. Your properties have to be diversified, just like if you're an individual. Now, what does Nintendo do well? Well, Nintendo takes care of their nut well, meaning their basics. Nintendo doesn't need anybody else to generate enough revenue for the company to exist, basically, without going into debt. How do they do that, right? They have their own IPs, number one. They have licensing deals. They have branding deals with toy companies, for example. You can make cartoons. You have the movies, right? And all these feed into the business model that they have, which makes it more successful, which is video games. Based on the Super Mario Brothers movie, they sold about what, 4 million carts of Super Mario Wonder, right? So these are calculations that are made in-house. They know, right? They absolutely know that if they put out a product, they have the numbers around already pretty much what it's going to sell. If it exceeds that, great, right? So they can think, okay, well, based on this, I know I'm going to sell 2 million. If we have just a regular release, I'm going to sell 2 million units. And that's enough to take care of X, Y, or Z, right? Now they have a Zelda coming out. They know that's going to sell at least 2 million units based on past performance, right? It's a pretty safe bet, if you will. It's an 80% chance of selling 2 million. If the movie's great, like Super Mario Brothers, then you're going to sell more, and you're going to sell more, twice as much, right? That's why Super Mario's Wonder is so successful, and it's a good game on top of that. They curate their games, they protect their IPs. If something's not good, they'll scratch and start again if it's not up to their standards. Look at Metroid, for example. This is something that other companies don't have, right? Look at the state of release, for example, of a very popular game, good game that I played, enjoyed, right? Starfield. Is the quality the same? No. I mean, it's a much bigger game, right? But that's just the culture of the company, right? But what can you do with Starfield? Are people going to be making movies about Starfield in the same manner that they are Super Mario Brothers or Zelda? Probably not, right? So Microsoft is not there, and their nut is going to be taken care of a different way. Instead of having those IPs, what they want to do is have a subscription service that is going to sustain the company. Sort of like Netflix, right? For video games. That is their business model. But there's plenty more that they have that they're not developing yet. Will they? Probably, because imitation happens in the industry all the time. When people see what Nintendo's doing, they're going to try to do the same thing, right? But it's not that easy. Nintendo is a company that measures twice and cuts once. And that's not the case for either Sony or Microsoft. Look at Sony, all the opportunities they have let go, right? Look at how many properties they've had in their hands that they've let go. Look how many brands that they could have in their hands that they let go, right? Look how many games they haven't released, right? So they're leaving a lot of money on the table based on this, right? Just based on what I'm looking at economically, the ones that I would worry about would be Sony. Now, let me tell you, I own all three stocks, right? So I have no favorites here. I'm not just, praising Nintendo for the sake of being a fanboy. I own stocks in all these companies. So take what I say with a grain of salt, and it absolutely is not investment advice. But what I'm telling you at this moment, at this time, Nintendo has a superior business model. And it's a model that people follow all the time during tough economic times. For example, if you applied this to an individual has to take care of his nut, right? It doesn't matter what you do, you need to make your expenses, however you make them. I don't care if you mop toilets, if you're a teacher, if you're a pizza delivery driver, whatever the hell you do, you have to do those things in order to take care of nut. Then on top of that, you diversify into other things. And that's, you can't be too proud to take care of your nut, right? Nintendo's not too proud to sell their IPs for plushie toys, for example. They don't care where the money comes from, right? They need to make their nut. That is the health of the company. That lets them keep the doors open and explore other things. So that's always running in the background. Those are things they don't have to worry about. Just like if, for example, you're going to start investing or saving money, whatever you're going to do. You have to go out there and clean toilets. You have to go out there and just do whatever it is that you need to do within your means to produce your nut. And then on top of that, you need to diversify and do other things. Maybe Monday through Friday, you work your regular job. On Saturdays, you go to the swap meet. Whatever it is. Whatever it is, you need to diversify and not to be too proud to do anything that'll make you money, right? Look at the lady that's making $6,000 a day making noises on TikToks. I'm sure she has pride, right? But, it's worth $6,000, right? She's taking care of her nut, and based on that, what does she have? OnlyFans and a bunch of other stuff. She's diversified, right? So you might think that you're smarter than her, but her business plan is superior to yours. And that's why she's making more money. She jumped in the market at the right time, right? She's diversifying her assets. And yes, what she's doing is ridiculous. But her business plan, if she maintains it, right, and she saves her money, is completely outstanding. And you see it here in Nintendo. In the worst of times, while other people are closing down, while other people are laying off people, they're having great success with a 6.5-year-old console. What does that tell you? It's about the gameplay, it's about the experience, it's about loyalty, it's about quality. It's about all these things that Nintendo has been building through years. Again, I'm a fan of all three companies, guys. But you have to give people their due. You have to recognize when a business model is successful. This one right here, for the moment, is successful. Will it change in the future? Yeah, probably, right? Markets go up and down. Stocks go up and down. Business plans will go up and down depending when you're doing them. But there's certain things that are always going to be true. Being diversified is one of them. Being resourceful, doing what you need to do, and making the most out of all your assets is your responsibility, just like it is Nintendo's, just like it is Microsoft, just like it is Sony's, right? And just like you can have three individuals, regardless of how smart they are. One of them is outperforming the other. You have to see what they're doing right, what they're doing wrong, but most importantly, what they're not doing, right? There's a great old saying, an amazing saying that goes like this, and I don't know who said it, right? But it's this. The wisdom you are seeking for is on the other side of doing the things that you do not want to do. You have to sacrifice. Nintendo sacrificed with the Wii U. They learned some hard lessons. They took that L, but they made the best of it, and look where they are now. That's a great success story, man. And I hope all three companies can do it because I like all three companies. And if you can learn anything from this, hey, you got to diversify. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
Did you subscribe? Did you hit the like button? What the hell are you waiting for?